Hello? Hi, yes, this is not a frog. This is a human teacher. Yep, Yep, it's Miss Conklin, and you said it's the what? It's Monday! Alright, Monday it is, alright. Okie dokie. Alright, Monday for school. Monday for school. Okay, it's a Monday. Yep, it's Monday. I got it, I'm ready for Monday. Here we go. Hello, my most fantastic artists. It is Monday, and I am so glad you guys are back. Let's take a look at today's leaderboard to see who reached the top of the leaderboard over the weekend. Our leaderboard artist for today is Kedzali. Awesome job, Kedzali. Congratulations. Remember, if you want to get chosen for the artist leaderboard, make sure that you watch today's video and turn in a picture of your artwork on Schoolology. Remember, take a picture of your artwork, not a picture of your face. All right, let's think. What have we been learning all week? We've been talking about using lines, using our focus as artists, and we also talked a little bit about shading. Lines are one of the most important ingredients an artist has that they can put inside of their art to make their artwork their own. Let me show you a little bit about what I'm talking about. Line is one of the most basic elements of art. It's probably the first thing you learned how to draw, or maybe one of the first things you've ever struggled with. We've practiced drawing lines, connecting our lines, adding value or shading to our lines, and focusing on our details. Today we're going to put it all together to take a look at how artists create things like sketches, pencil drawings, and more. The way an artist draws their lines influences their style. Are their lines jagged or smooth, straight or curved, thick or thin? Thinking about how your lines look can help you start to think about your own style. Remember that lines also create the mood of your drawing. If your drawing is soft and ethereal and beautiful, you might use curved lines and soft shading. If you want your drawing to look harsh and hectic, or maybe even dark or moody, you might use dark lines, jagged lines, or rough lines with lots of heavy and dark shading. Take a look at all of these different drawings of the same girl. They all look different, and they all definitely make you feel different, and that's partly because of the way the artist draws the lines in their art. The softer, more smooth and curvy lines make you feel one way, while the geometric and straight harsh lines make you feel a different sort of way. The less detailed, more empty line picture might make you feel an even more different way. Now what if I told you they are all from the exact same artist? I know, right? Crazy, but all of these pictures were drawn by Pablo Picasso. Pablo Picasso was a very famous painter, sculptor, and artist, and he wasn't afraid to experiment with different types of lines. Lines can also help us create shape and texture. Texture is the way something looks like it might feel, or the way something actually feels. And it can all be drawn with lines. For example, I can use short, quick lines to make something look very hairy. Or I can use crisscross lines to make something look like it's a woven basket. Check out this brick texture. I drew my lines in the shape of rectangles. Take a look at the room around you. You might see some textures in that room that you might be interested in. Texture is a great way to take your picture from blank to bank.
There is actually no guarantee that using lines to create texture and shape in your drawing will make you any money. This statement is purely speculation and for fun purposes only.
Today I'm going to show you how to draw your own Venus flytrap using texture, value, and shape. And then your job is to draw your own Venus flytrap using texture and value. To start to draw your Venus flytrap, I like to draw a rectangle at the middle towards the bottom of my paper. Depending on how long I want my Venus flytrap to be, I would put it sort of near the middle or the middle bottom. Then, underneath my rectangle, I'm going to draw the two sides of my flower pot. A flower pot has a more diagonal side. If a flower pot has a vertical side, the line would be going straight up and down, which would be more stiff. Our flower pot today is going to have more of a vertical line going inwards. So I'm going to draw a vertical line that extends down towards the bottom of my paper, and I'm going to do the same to the other side. A vertical line that goes down towards the bottom of my paper. The pot's kind of getting smaller down here at the bottom. Then I'm going to add at the very bottom, to finish it off, I'm going to add a smiley face line down here to make my pot have a little more shape at the bottom. I could draw a flat line at the bottom, a flat horizontal line like that at the bottom, but that will make my flower pot look a little more cartoony, and I would like to have my flower pot have a little more shape down here at the bottom. So I drew a curvy line, kind of like a smiley face. The next thing we could do is we're going to start by drawing our Venus flytrap itself. So a Venus flytrap has a couple different parts to it. I didn't realize that Venus flytraps were such complicated plants, but they're really, really cool plants. So we're going to draw a really, really cool Venus flytrap, and I'm going to show you guys how. So Venus flytraps have a crazy lower half of their stem is kind of a crazy rectangular, curved rectangle shape. So I'm going to start by drawing a upside down curved L from the bottom of my pot coming out of my pot. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, but I'm not going to let them touch in the middle. So I'm going to draw another curved L like this, going straight down into my pot. This is the middle of my Venus flytrap, kind of where it digests all its delicious Venus flytrap food like flies. The next thing I'm going to do is draw the skinny stem part, like the neck part of my Venus flytrap, coming out of the body of my Venus flytrap. My neck is skinny and it is also kind of curvy. You can make this as curvy as you want to give your Venus flytrap a little more personality. You could have it looking down, you could have it looking up, you could have it all tangled in a knot. This neck is where you could give it a little more personality. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw the mouth of our Venus flytrap. The mouth of our Venus flytrap is kind of shaped a little bit like a football. So to draw the mouth, I'm going to start by drawing a smiley face line, and then I'm going to top it off with a frowny face line. So I'm going to put a frowny face line right on top, just like that. The next thing we have to do is we have to draw the trap part of our Venus flytrap. This is the part that makes the mouth of the Venus flytrap. They're kind of sticky trigger hairs. They're sticky hair-like things that come off of the Venus flytrap that trap things like flies inside of the trap's mouth. So we're going to use some lines, and I'm just creating letter V's that go up and letter V's that go down to make the mouth of my Venus flytrap. So I drew letter V's that go up, and I drew letter V's that go down right next to each other. It's a zigzag line. Essentially, I drew a zigzag line for the mouth. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give my Venus flytrap two eyes. So I'm going to draw two letter O's on top. These are going to be my Venus flytrap's eyes. And depending on the style of the plant you want it to be a bad plant or a good plant or a girly plant or a happy plant or a sad plant, you will change the eyes accordingly. The eyes are the window to the soul. It's true. I just want my plant to look kind of sweet. So I'm just going to give my plant some sweetie eyes right there. But you could go all out anime eyes, give it angry eyebrows, up to you. This next part is where you get to add your texture and your shading and also put your focus and your detail in. Consider giving your Venus flytrap a name. What's your Venus flytrap's name going to be? Is it going to be Planty? Is it going to be... I don't know what your Venus flytrap's name is going to be. I'm going to name mine Tony because I already have a plant in my house named Tony. So I'm going to name my Venus flytrap Tony. There we go. My Venus flytrap is named Tony. And then I could decorate his flower pot. I could also use texture to add details to Tony. I want you guys to add some texture to Tony by giving him hair or a beard. I'm going to give this one a very large mustache. So I'm going to draw a mustache on top of my Venus flytrap, and then I'm going to use my pencil to create texture on my Venus flytrap to make it look like he has a very large bushy mustache growing right out of his face. So I'm using short little lines to create texture like a big bushy mustache growing right out of his face. Awesome. You could also add texture in the form of hair, like pigtails or long curly hair. You could give him a big beard and turn him into Santa Claus, put a hat on him, make him a Santa Claus Venus flytrap. Then you can come down here and you can consider adding some shading to make him look more interesting. Consider using your pencil and lightly making a shadow underneath his neck to be where his head is. So he has a shadow underneath his neck because his head is kind of above his body, so maybe there would be some shadow there. Maybe you could use shading to color in Tony's body. Consider using shading to make Tony's body a little more interesting. Using your pencil and using different types of pressure to make Tony's body look a little bit more interesting by shading it in different ways, going from dark to light. Maybe you could do spots or stripes, or you want to go for a more realistic shadow. That's up to you. We'll get more into detail about how to shade properly later. Right now, I just kind of want you to experiment with the idea of putting shadow and shading in your drawing. There's not really a right or wrong way to do it. Sometimes it might help for you to consider where the light is coming from in your picture. Say if there's a sun up here. So that means there's sunlight on this side of the picture, so that would put this part down here in shadow. So you could use your pencil to draw a light line underneath the rim of the flower pot to make some shadow underneath the flower pot. Using value, you're using a middle value, kind of a gray value, dark to light. You could also use some shadow down here at the bottom of the flower pot in a curved line to make your flower pot look a little bit more rounded. So using a curved line to make your flower pot look a little more rounded. And maybe the closer you get to the bottom of the flower pot, the darker your shadow becomes. And the closer you get to the middle of your flower pot, the lighter the shadow becomes. You could also add a shadow. Consider adding a shadow behind the flower pot. Maybe you want to put a shadow. Think if the sun's shining this way, the shadow would be on the left side. The shadow would not be on the side the sun is shining on. So the shadow would be behind it, and that might be your darkest value. You might press really hard to make this dark value right here. And I just realized Tony looks just like a Wild West cowboy, so I'm going to give him a 10-gallon hat. When you draw your Tony, make sure to give him personality. This is my cowboy Tony. This is Tony as a cowboy. When you draw your plant, give him a personality. Give them a name. Give them some texture. Maybe put a clothes on him, put hair on him, put a hat on him. Give him texture. Give him personality with the eyes. You know, the eyebrows can really change their personality. Now Tony is very angry. Just by giving him some angry eyebrows, right? You can make him twitchy by putting one of his lower eyelids up. Well, now he looks really mad. I put one of his lower eyelids up. He looks pretty mad now. Yikes, I'm shaking over here. So is Tony. I used some lines to denote, to make it look like he's shaking. So your picture should have lines. Your picture should have different values or some shading in it. And your picture should also have some texture in it. Good luck making this very, very wacky drawing of a Venus flytrap. I know that you guys can do it. You're super creative and wacky. All right, have fun.
you're already done. Cool. Me too. Don't forget to take a picture of your artwork and upload it to Schoology. That way, maybe tomorrow you'll see your name on the leaderboard. Gee, I hope so. If you're finished with this video early and you still have time left for class, go back to your Schoology art page and check out our new skill builder. Our new skill builder is all about practicing our lines, and you have some cartoon challenges to help you get better at drawing some lines. Alright, I hope you check it out. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!